the final race of the Royal Meeting, and therefore the final race of the week for me, will be the Queen Alexandra Stakes, the longest race, usually 2 mile 5, 2 mile 6, was that the one that was yesterday? I don't know if this has been over the right distance or not. It's 0 to 120, Ember Days for John Morgan at the top, Adelina's Knights, David Robertson, Freak Boris for Graham Clutterbuck, Ruby Lane, John Morgan, Daenerys Temple for Graham Clutterbuck, Dawn Rising, David Hooley, Layla Gray for Matt Cooper, and Harry's for Alex Cherry. Sword and away they go. And Daenerys Temple and Freak Boris were both out quickly for Graham Clutterbuck. Is a bit of a standing dish in these long distance races, but so too is John Morgan. Remember, this one isn't a handicap. At least it didn't used to be. And it's Ember Days in the lead. I fully feel it might be one now, though. I say it was a 0 to 120. Anyway, it's been a long week. Ember Days is the leader. From Harry's in second, Ruby Lane is third, then Freak Boris is fourth, and Daenerys Temple, Layla Gray, Adelina's Knights, and Dawn Rising. So, to clear up some of the confusion from some of the races earlier in the week as well, there are 1 or 2 races that we have in the SO7 Royal Ascot that are not quite the same as in real life. We make them handicaps and put limits on the range of them, 0 to 90s and things, just so that everybody gets a go. Otherwise, if we stuck to the official ratings for the races at Royal Ascot, then there'd only be 4 people playing and the rest of us would be sat at home with nothing to do. Anyway, it's Ember Days in the lead, from Harry's back in second, Ruby Lane is third, Adelina's Knights is fourth, and Daenerys Temple. As we get a look from the top of the stand, you've got a little ladder look to get to there. It's a strange thing, I can't imagine too many people clambering up ladders. I think they're supposed to be steps. They look pretty steep steps to me. More like ladders. Anyway, there's a good old view. It's on my screen anyway. For those of you that don't know when I do this commentating, I do beam it to a 70-inch TV screen, so I can get a good look and see what's going on. It's handy. And it's Ember Days in the lead, from Harry's in second, and Ruby Lane is third, Layla Gray fourth, and Daenerys Temple, Adelina's Knights is after that, then Freak Boris, and finally Dawn Rising. And John Morgan Gray in the lead, almost expecting to see them jump a few fences. And it's Harry's in second. Well, we'll probably find out at the end that these are not John Morgan's at all, they're probably Daniel French's, and he's using these colours, but I'm pretty sure I said they were John Morgan's. Anyway, Ember Days is the leader. I don't have to do too much waffling this week. Paul Parsons did the earlier long distance race on day 1. Thanks to Paul this week as well. It's been good to have a new voice this season. He's done a great job and more than his fair share so far. And also I'm going to give a shout out to Stu, even though he's not going to be watching this because he hasn't got a horse in it, but he's done all of the National Hunt today because I've just been so busy this week. I just haven't got time, and he's stepped in at the last minute and done the lot, so shout out to Stu for that. Ember Days the leader, Harry's second, Ruby Lane third, then Daenerys Temple is fourth, Layla Gray on the outside is fifth, and then Adelina's Knights, and finally Dawn Rising and Freak Boris. So 6 furlongs still to go then. Ember Days is in front. I'm not sure how the championships have panned out, but I'm pretty sure nobody in this race is anywhere near winning either of them. So whoever's won it has already won it. I'm afraid I didn't keep a score today because, like I say, it has been a very busy week. I had time to scribble things down on bits of paper, but I'm fairly certain that Josh must have won it. And if he didn't, Vinny probably did. And if Vinny didn't, Paul probably did. I'll put my money on Josh having taken it. He certainly had the most winners this week, I would have thought. Anyway, 3 furlongs to go. Ember Days is in the lead. Nice to see some of the littler trainers get a few wins as well. 2 for Stu, a couple for Nick Driver. Even I managed a couple right at the end. But it's Ember Days in the lead. From Ruby Lane, Daenerys Temple and Dawn Rising. There's 2 furlongs still to go. And Ember Days is now about to be challenged by Daenerys Temple. With a furlong and a half to go, and it's Graham Clutterbuck, the Barney Curly of long distance SO7 Racing. And he's going to do it again, isn't he? Daenerys Temple is going to sneak past the John Morgan front runner and take it inside the final furlong. It's probably made the season for Graham. Loves these big long distance races. Watch out for him at Goodwood. He's bound to do it again. Daenerys Temple takes it. Ember Days, Lila Gray, Freak Boris, Ruby Lane. Harris was the last one to finish. Good to see Gray on the board. Daenerys Temple, the winner of the final race at this year's Royal Ascot meeting. Daenerys Temple, the winner for Graham Clutterbuck. Ember Days was second. We are going to wait for the card to confirm it's John Morgan. Indeed it is. Layla Gray was third for Matt Cooper. Fourth was Freak Boris for Graham Clutterbuck again. And fifth was Ruby Lane for John Morgan again. So that's it. That's your Royal Ascot meeting. Paul will update everybody with who's won all the titles and all that sort of stuff on the forum. He might even tell you in a minute, because he's going to be doing the next few races. So I'll pass you over to Paul for the rest of day 3, and we'll be back next week.